Howdy y'all. 3rd of July. So happy Independence Day to all my brothers and sisters here in the US of A. But certainly been a little while since I made a video. Been pretty lazy and pretty depressed sentiment in the market. It's a little tough to make a video when silver just keeps getting beat down all the time. But I have had a couple of recent pickups coming in through the mail. Still waiting on a couple. It's funny actually, from the May Day silver squeeze, I put in a Scottsdale order. Still waiting on that one. And then of course I have another order coming in that has a couple of the Type 2 American Silver Eagles, but yeah, the US Mint hasn't been too prompt in pumping those out. Take another sip of coffee here. What you see before you is, I guess that's most of my recent haul. Could be some other pieces here. So we got some new coins to look at, and a couple old coins I picked up, and I don't think I've shown them on video yet, so they're new to me. But yeah, let's go through it, and I'll just put a glove on. So I got some of these, I guess they're the St. Helena Angel, I was going to say dollars, but they actually denominated £1. St. Helena is an interesting island. It's a rock in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean between Brazil and Africa. Used to be a trading post. Well, actually, it was more of like a resupply for ships, crossing the Atlantic, whaling ships, mercantile vessels. Not a lot of people lived there, and pretty much the only way to get there was by sea, so it would take a couple weeks at least. And there's not a lot there, but what's interesting, as we all know, after Napoleon's defeat at Waterloo, he was exiled by the British to the island. And I'm a bit of a history buff, so I like that piece of history. But let's take a look at these. I think I got around 30 of these or something. Provident Metals had a pretty good deal on them. They were a little under $31. The only problem, they came really quick in the mail, but the tube they were in, even though it was taped, it kind of split open, and a couple of them fell around in the box. They were still in a bag, so they weren't going everywhere, but a few of the coins got just some minor scratches, and yeah, granted it's bullion, but it's still kind of annoying. But get a load of these. Aren't these just a really beautiful piece? So I think I have all of them. Going back to the Guinea. I think they did a Guinea. And all of them have had a different pattern on the flat surface in the background, which is like a mirror polish. So you can see they're very shiny on both sides. And then here they just did kind of like a mesh fence pattern almost. But it's really intricate. You can't really see like an impression, because normally there's a die and the coins are stamped in a press, and it'll make an impression on the raised surfaces and whatnot. So I think it could possibly be laser engraved. Maybe you're seeing a bit of an impression there, but hard to say. It could be laser engraved. You'd think that would be a lot of work, but regardless, they're very nice. Now this is actually an homage to Napoleon Bonaparte, who died on the island in 1821, I believe. In fact, I think he died on the 5th of May. So, and this year is 2021, so maybe that's why they did it a little bit. 200th anniversary of Napoleon's death on St. Helena. And you can see his little grave marker with the N. Napoleon. Now, he was born on Corsica, which used a B. That's kind of one of their symbols on the island of Corsica. So I think on a lot of Napoleon's imperial coat of arms, I think it featured a bumblebee, or honeybee, not a bumblebee. Looks like a bumblebee. Anyways, yeah, this was really the main item, so that's why I've wasted 5 minutes on the video. One thing, I think they might have added that part at the bottom, the East India Company. I don't know if that was on the older versions, but you can see in little letter there also £1. Pretty cool. Elizabeth II. She's not getting any younger. 95, I think. So her husband just died this year. It'll be a real changing of the guard when she goes. Actually, over in Canada, I heard they just toppled some of her monuments. Things are really getting out of hand when that's happening. She's actually a lovely woman, and I never was a fan of the monarchy, but you know, I've kind of come to respect that institution, and it wasn't really all bad, so yep, we'll probably be getting some new faces on these soon. But yeah, got quite a few of these. They're mostly in pretty good condition. And it was a good deal, I just couldn't pass it up. Now the other thing I got from Provident was some of these. Just some rounds. They do a good job. I think they used to use the Golden State Mint. They probably still do. And you can see right above where it says hotel, I think that's actually their emblem. Pardon the text messaging, but yeah, I think that's the Provident emblem. Pretty cool. But what's really neat, I think that's a coin turn. Yeah. The sheriff is in town. Jesus. The old Sharif. Pretty cool. I like these. It's got a nice, you know, flat, matte finish, as they say. I guess that was a mercantile, but you almost wonder if that was an homage to the artist Mercanti. Probably not. So yeah, I think I got 6 of those. They're pretty cool. I like them. Also got some of these from Hero Bullion. I've never used them before. They seem like a good joint, good place to work with. Let's just take it out of the sleeve, shall we? Perth Mint, excellent quality as usual. Really nice. Very nice indeed. I hope that's focusing. These are 2 ounce, which, you know, they're kind of cool now and then. 2 ounce for a coin, they get a little pricey. I think I still prefer my 1 ounce coins. It's a smaller size. You know, right now the 2 ounce, they're really in vogue. You had the Queen's Beast, these, and Taglio Mint. They make almost all their stuff in 2 ounce, which I'd just prefer a 1 ounce coin, frankly. They're a little heavier too, so, you know, bigger you are, the harder they fall. So if you're dropping a coin or it's in a bag with other coins, the heavier coin's going to bang up the other coins. I just prefer a 1 ounce, a little smaller. 1 ounce is way bigger than most coins anyways, if you think about it. But yeah, these are cool. Not the highest level of detail, but, you know, platypus doesn't have crazy fur or much going on anyways. P for Perth Mint. You know what I noticed, and I do like this design too. I love that, you know, kind of flat matte. Very, very nice. The kangaroos, I guess, they will get milk spotting from time to time. They're usually okay. But this series, the 2 ounce Next Generation series, I don't think I've seen any with milk spots. So they must put There's a little extra care on it, and it pays off. It's a great product. So I got a couple of those, I think 4 of those, and then we're at the 10-minute mark. I'll just show you, take the gloves off here, some of the older coins I picked up. Let's put the camera back a little. Where to begin? Let's start with the French francs. So this is just an old one. I had this one for a long time. Napoleon Bonaparte, Napoleon I, Emperor of the French, had to have it. It was a deal I couldn't give up because I got it at spot price. I probably shouldn't say this. It originally had some, like, I don't know what you call it, like a vergitis, detritus on the wreath and a little bit on his face. So it was marred, impaired, if you will. Kind of ugly. It was really like a green, nasty junk on there. And I took it off with a little chemical agent. And I probably went a little too hardcore. I think the acid, if you will, kind of burned through a little bit, leaving like a dull area on some of the surfaces, but from certain angles you don't really see it. And, you know, again, this was basically at melt value. I probably improved the coin from where it was. We'll call it a restoration, even though you're not supposed to clean your coins. Yeah, these are cool. I love how they have, like, I'm going to call them little Easter eggs hidden. The French, they hid that rooster, or cockerel, they call it, I think. But anyways, yeah. And I think the A is for Paris mint. Europe is kind of strange with their mints. Here in America it's P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, S for San Francisco. A logical pattern. Whereas in Europe, it'll be like A for Berlin, A for Paris. B is like their second best city, and C, I think that's how they do it. It's crazy. Anyways, really cool. Just really cool, the history. 1811. You gotta wonder what was going on there. I think he had just reconquered probably the Austrian Empire. Fought into, it was basically took over their castles and was sitting in the imperial throne and making demands, and he probably sacked their treasury, because back in the day it made sense to take their treasure if you beat them in war. So this, he could have brought all this silver back to Paris and minted new coin for the people. Let the wealth flow from the city. So this could have been silver from Austrian coffers. Crazy. Well, I got 3 of them, so this is slightly after that. So after he was exiled, they brought back the monarchy. Louis Philippe, 1839. 5 francs. Beautiful. Also A. Now this one has, instead of a rooster, I think it's something different. Yeah, I think that's an anchor, because I've seen it before. Not sure what it symbolizes, but it's probably a little Easter egg. Oh, both of these have similar edge lettering, which is super cool. And what it says, I think, is Dieu protège la France. So I think it says God protect France. And it says it on all of them, I believe. Now this one's really cool. Had to get it. See, I already had the gold franc, Napoleon III. So after the monarchy was restored, they had another revolution, I think around 1848. And he was, I think this is Napoleon's nephew, if I'm not mistaken. He's not the direct descendant of Napoleon. But he became like a president and eventually became emperor again. Another interesting tidbit, they never called themselves Emperor of France. They called themselves Emperor of the French. So they weren't Emperor of the state per se, but the emperor of the people. Semantics. Empire Français, 1868, we got the anchor. But we also got another Easter egg there. I think it's a bug. Now we mentioned the bee. I don't think it's a bee though. It could be like what do you call it? A little grasshopper or something. Not sure. Pretty cool. And I love that. What do you call it? Not a seal, not an emblem. Coat of arms. Really cool. Just a good-looking coin, good-looking design. Napoleon looking good with his goatee and mustache. You got the artist down there, Barr. I think he did a lot of other important coins of the time period. Got the edge lettering, very clear. Got some stars, de Bretagne. France, beautiful, beautiful stuff. So this is 5 franc. Now I want to bring out, just real quick, we got this little coin. This one is 20 franc, 1852. Now this one is not the empire, it says République Française, a mint, but Louis Napoleon Bonaparte. Now, after he became emperor, they changed it to just, well, like the silver one there. Also it says something, not sure. Dieu protège la France. Now that's interesting because this is a very small coin. But they managed to do edge lettering. Very, very cool. So yeah, neat stuff. Now this one, this one is also cool. Russian. It says ruble. You gotta practice your Cyrillic. That's an R. And I guess it's UBLE, ruble. 297, got a flower on there. It's a good design. Got their double-headed eagle. I think that's probably St. George on there too. And this one's fairly well worn, circulated, but not too bad. Really good looking patina. Quite like it. It's 1 ruble. Yeah, I forgot. I've also got a gold ruble. Let's see here. Happened to bring out my gold to show you that Napoleon coin. This one is 5 rubles. 1898. Now it's just got a little pattern. It's almost like a Greco-Eastern pattern. The Tsar Nicholas. They have a hard to read font on that Cyrillic. It's really a little much. Pretty cool. It's smaller than some of the other coins. Fairly small little gold coin right there. Yeah, I think that was most of what I wanted to show. We're at the 18-minute mark. I'll just point out too that the ruble is slightly smaller than a 5 franc coin. It's probably about the size of a German Dreimark of the time period, maybe a little larger. I'm thinking that that's what they might have used in comparison as the German Dreimarks. But what's also neat, these are all crowns. They're kind of like a crown-sized coin. Speaking of which, I did pick up a crown. Not hugely happy with it because it's got a lot of damage on it. But I got it at Melt, and it's only 50% silver, so it's really not my favorite type of silver. But yeah, whatever. It is what it is. It's got these ugly spots on it. South African. It's 5 shillings, 1 crown. So a crown is large, slightly larger than $1. And I mean, maybe it's like 1 or 2 grams more. And then the dollar is just slightly larger than 5 francs. So, and then the ruble is a little bit smaller than these. It's probably about 10 or 15% smaller. All in all, pretty cool. One other thing I picked up, I got some other copper coins recently, and these were cheap. I think these were about 25 cents each. Picked up some Canadian large cents. Really cool. Mostly George V. I'll give a close-up on one of them, just as an example. Nice design, pretty big. For comparison, if you had like an American cent, which I got one here, you can see the difference. Also, I picked up some older copper. Oh, this one's just slightly different. This is a different King Edward, Canada. Different font, slightly different reverse. And I picked up these bank tokens, which I'd seen before. This is like a half penny. Now these are really big pennies, by the way. They're probably, well, I'd say close to an ounce, maybe a little lighter. Cool design. So we get it to focus here. Bank token, half penny. Now you got a lot of French in the area, so I think it has a combination of French and English. But they're all around 1837, which is also interesting because, see, it says Unsu. Looks like it was almost hold, but not all the way through. Provence du Bas, Canada. I don't know what that means. It means like lowlands, but that doesn't make sense. Du Bas. Not sure. Someone on there doing something. I think it was a native, but I could be wrong. But yeah, 1837 was when Andrew Jackson had, what did he do? He broke the bank, is what he did. And he was bringing back hard money, and there was some kind of Gresham's Law going into effect where people were pulling out all the hard species, so there was like a shortage of money in the late 1830s. And I think that's why some of these tokens were minted, and they were maybe somewhat unofficial, but they were pennies. They were good money. And you'd see at that time, you can look on eBay if you want, there's a lot of tokens from the 1830s. A lot of them are satirical in nature, poking fun at Jackson, but I would tend to agree with Jackson's policies, and I like having sound money. This is the larger one. 1 penny, 1837. I think they're all around 1837. There's probably some other years in there. Oh, this one says 2 sous. Yeah. 2 sous or 1 penny. Anyways, we'll leave it there. Just has some cool coins to look at. Maybe that could be our screenshot. Alright guys, have a good one.